Commissioner Gaudette here. Commissioner Hosier here. Commissioner Gonzalez. Commissioner Martin.
Present.
Commissioner Sweeney.
Present.
Commissioner Abdullah.
Present.
Commissioner Williams. Commissioner Martin.
I'm here.
Commissioner Nims. Commissioner McKnight. Commissioner Larchbeck.
Here.
Commissioner Eaton. Commissioner McKenzie. You have a quorum, Madam Chair.
Wonderful. Okay, the first item on our agenda is to approve the minutes for May 6th, May 20th, and May 20th. And June 12th. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll move to approve the minutes
Anyone
of
second?
those 3 meetings.
Thank you. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, minutes pass. That was John. Okay, the first item on our agenda, we will start with chapter 2, which is the Office of Municipal Ethics, and the Ethics Commission.
Patrick, man,
Yeah?
is it
Or
okay
do
if
you
we
want to
just,
start with?
because this is gonna be easy in and out, there's no
true.
reason to
Okay,
keep him here for a
true.
long time.
Yeah, I looked over, I'm like, well, maybe I said it too loud. Okay,
No,
yes.
I'm just,
So we
no,
will,
but we're gonna be here a while with that, so.
yeah, we will. So
I don't know if you want that.
Yes.
I mean, you can stay if you want, but.
So, it is, so instead of chapter 2 right now, we will start with chapter 17, which is,
I guess the number one question on chapter 17 is that are we renumbering it?
I talked to Matola yesterday, he came by my office at like 4 o'clock, and he said, can we number away? He agreed with you.
Yeah, I don't.
So the only real issue I think that's remaining, unless you have other stuff, is just, this is the only chapter in the charter that has a different numbering sequence. I don't know where it comes from, and I think it, as Taisha pointed out, it starts with number 203, as the section starter. So anyway, I think,
page, I'm sorry, we are on
62.
page 62 of 92.
Sorry about that.
yeah, so I think unless Eric has other stuff, I think they've really done a thorough job. Oh, or we have other
One.
stuff. We were just gonna send it back to them and tell them to please renumber it for us and bring it back another day and we'll vote on the renumbering.
Or can we just renumber it? Move on with life? I'm just doing that now. Do we
Oh,
want
unless you can do it.
Yeah,
Because you don't have the right
that's
page
easy
number.
enough.
Right.
I can count.
I thought you sent me something afterwards, I'm looking for
Like I
that.
said, our civil service rules do reference sections, but the hope and the goal is, once this is ratified, voted upon, then we'll submit updated civil service rules to the commission and city council.
Okay. So is the numbering staying the same or not?
No, it's,
No.
I guess changing, because
Renumbering, okay. The other thing that I wanted to find out, since the, which section is it? For the, okay, page 65 or 66, can we add the director of the Office of Municipal Ethics here?
all right.
All the other directors are listed except for that one.
Was that person supposed to be a civil servant or unclassified?
Unclassified.
Okay.
Wait, the director or the people under the director?
So,
So where would they, where
That's-
would that?
It's the same, it would go in the same spot as the legislative director.
we're just about to say that, let's make that
Same
number
thing.
19. Move everything else down.
Wait, 19?
Yeah.
And then move the rest down, page 66.
Page 66 and 92, just add in the
Oh,
director.
instead of the harbor master, make 19.
Director of Office of Municipal.
So it'd be something like Director of Municipal Ethics who shall be appointed pursuant to the provisions of this charter.
Exactly.
Can you say that again?
Director of Municipal Ethics who shall.
Director of the Office of Municipal.
Oh, the Office of Municipal Ethics, who shall be appointed pursuant to the provisions of this charter.
Taisha, the last document that you sent us, that I think is supposed to be the one of 92 or whatever,
Pursuant to the.
is a bunch of different
Pursuant to
page
the
numbers. So it's,
provisions.
so it says like page 11 of 89, and then the next page says 12 of 89. But before that, it's like page 9 of 80, of 7 of 8, or there's like 3 different sections or something like that. So you never did get to 92. Is there a clean?
Did you open it up in like a Google Doc or Teams? Because
No.
then it will open up to
No,
like
Just
the,
in
Word.
Word?
because it will
Can
open up to the
you
present.
change it to show all markups? If you have simple markups, it's probably a shorter document. Can you show all markups?
Okay, Commissioners, I think there's a motion on the floor.
Yep, sorry.
Is there a second to Mr. Gaudette's, Commissioner Gaudette's motion?
I'll second it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, are there any
I'm on
other?
all markup.
Okay, and did it change at all?
No, it was already on all markup.
Okay. It'll take me a minute to get in.
Well, page 65 on our version.
What does it say at
Oh,
the
page
top?
65. So
Does
it's
it
one
say,
of, oh, this, actually, now this one is now saying 1 of 89.
Yeah, that's what I got.
So if you go to the front page, is it charter revision
811
811 meeting amendments?
Yeah, with 813 meeting.
Yeah. I don't know. Well,
That's weird, because the first block, now they all say 89, but at least that's something. How much page though? 16?
It was on, we were on 65.
Sorry. Oh, I can get it in paper, I wanted it electronically. Thank you though.
Are we, did everybody get it, or we're still?
So, we
They're waiting for
put,
me, but I can't, I gotta log in.
a question,
Yes.
we put it in as 19, that was the motion, and thereby moving the harbor master to 20 and everyone subsequent increased number.
Yes.
Thank you.
So this, it would be under B, right? Subsection B?
Yes.
Classified. And then B, 19. Okay.
I have a question for.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at what is currently 26, the one about part-time employees. I know this is stupid, it says 19, and usually we say 19 and a half is what they can work, or we need to change that.
So there are certain provisions, so like entry into the MERS plan, anything above 19 would be eligible for participation in the state's pension plan. They don't use the 0.5. We use 0.5 for certain instances, but it really depends on what we're like talking about. Customarily, I like to use 19 for our purposes. But you have eligibility for the pension, also the definition of what a seasonal employee is per state statutes, it's at 19, not the 0.5, which is why we chose that. But I think if previously, if we were to hire like a part-time associate attorney, which we have, we use the 0.5 for certain eligibilities and certain
Still bring
grades.
the,
And so under that theory and under this language, are they unclassified or are they classified?
They would be classified. I haven't seen her new charter section,
or
but
It's got-
I
it's
think
got a
that
load.
Yeah.
19 is where we should be at.
or six?
19 hours per
9 to 9.
week?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, I thought it was another number fixation.
Yeah.
Like
19
203.
Yeah, it's probably just.
Yeah, 19 hours or less per
But
week.
it's the same.
And then we also have the ability to kind of go through the commission unless the commission deems otherwise pursuant to this chapter.
Right, for specific positions, yeah.
Right, if, so that would help in that case, you bring up there. But we kind of just mirrored what the statute says for most of the range that we do.
7, if you look at that page.
Okay. Are there any other questions or comments in this section for civil service? We had one update. Any other,
Well,
or renumbering?
yeah, I just wonder whether City Attorney Collins has had a chance to go through the renumbering, or if it's a longer process, then, but I guess what
We're not
I'm,
gonna do the renumbering right now, right?
well, she was starting it.
Yeah, I was,
Oh,
And-
just in my notes.
Okay, so, for instance, in the renumbering, section 203, Civil Service Commission, would be, what might it be? Section 1?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna, and even where it says, for instance, 203.1, that would be section 2. I'm not gonna do the points,
Okay, good.
right? So just, if you look in the table of contents, I'll just number
So
those
we-
down,
okay.
number whatever that ends up being. I'll
That was the question, thank you.
Section 2. So equal opportunity, you said is that gonna be, what section?
And that will therefore have all the A's, B's, C's, no change necessary.
Through the chair, if I may, sorry.
Yes.
So I agree with you, attorney, on section 203.1 becomes section 2. But then we have other sections that the points are important, like section 207, classified and unclassified service definitions, and then that next section there is section 207.1 because it then speaks of classified service division. So it's a continuation of that section. I'm not sure if there, whatever that ends up being, that we can acknowledge the 207 point, or if it becomes 7,
Well,
207.
could it be section 2 and then it's like 1, like how we
Right.
have in other places?
Right,
It could be
yeah. I just
1,
wanna acknowledge,
2, 3.
right, the continuation of a section.
Mhm.
Well, if I can jump in on that, I mean, the method we've used in every other chapter here, if we're gonna be consistent, is 1, then letter, then number, then letter, that's typically like how legal documents work, so can we follow that? You
Yeah,
you don't
we
mind
can do
switching
that.
from point
Yeah.
blank to A and B?
Yeah, I just don't, right, so that's totally fine, as long as we're not saying this is a whole, it is a new section, but it's a continuation of a greater section. Right, so numbers, letters, whatever you wanna use.
So the
That-
section
Well, then
choose a
that's,
section.
that's gonna be, it's not gonna be A though, because there's already an A and a B, so it's gonna be.
What page are
It
you
would
on?
be 1 then.
Page
No,
65.
it's 207 and then 207A, B. If you want it to be part of that section, then it is,
Well, that's fine, that already
D.
is A.
2-7
it's gonna be 207, it's gonna be section D, if you wanna keep it there.
Well,
Yeah.
on page 67 is 207.1, and that's what is being referred to here. He doesn't want it as a becoming section 8.
I understand, so then
Right.
it becomes D to be part of section
Good.
207, which will now be section 4, right? It would be,
Oh, but Wait a minute, I see
Or
207.1 here.
Yeah, so then if that's 5,
So how have you done it through other,
Oh, you don't want you want 207.1 not to be 208?
because, I mean, for the reader, it's a continuation of the like greater thought, right? So you have, here's our section on classified and unclassified service, and we're providing you some definitions. And now the current 207.1 is a continuation of thought, but its own thing.
so is it under C, classified service?
Actually,
It's
207 is unclassified, right?
No, it's classified.
No, that's
Oh,
the
it meant-
titling, but the material is really B.
Oh, no, it's both.
Right, because A is the civil service of the city is hereby divided into unclassified and classified service, entry sentence there.
And then B is unclassified, C is classified, so if you want 207.1 to go under
I
classified,
gotcha.
then it would technically be C1. And then you have to adjust all the way.
Right, so you have your A,
Yeah.
there's classified and unclassified. B, unclassified, all the stuff about unclassified,
Right.
for
Do you
a
have-
couple pages. And then C, classified, and all the stuff about classified,
Yeah.
So, right.
And that gets rid
So
of
these need to be
207.
combined, and 207.1 just needs to go away.
So
Yeah.
if possible, can we do the renumbering and then send it back?
Okay. Go
So
ahead.
take it off like your guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have
Yes,
at it.
Busy
yes.
enough.
Just
You're
do
Thank
it
you
on
so
Monday.
Attorney Tom.
Just give it to me
No,
on
no.
Monday. I have trouble, I can't, yeah, so, I need it on Monday.
Stoking the flames.
You just like visiting us all this time.
You guys are just so busy, done so much work. and it's-
Congratulations.
It's all yours, Eric.
Fair enough, in fairness, we told them the same way, you didn't want us touching anything.
I don't blame them.
This is so precious.
So was there a motion on the floor?
I'll welcome a motion.
Well, I thought you already voted to renumber it.
Let's table
Yeah, we
what
already did
did.
vote to renumber it.
So it's done,
There
right?
should be
Well,
nothing.
no, we didn't really vote to renumber it.
No, I think we got up to a second and then we got questions. So, I make a motion that we recognize a Monday deadline on civil service, getting back to us, returning to us with
That's
the
fine.
renumbering that we can agree to. And that separates the notion of classified and unclassified as subjects to be, that will flow in the presentation.
Second.
I second.
Time will tell.
Now, Eric got it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Is it all right if I just leave it as, well, yours was really long, but I just said by Monday, August 19th, civil service will renumber and organize the unclassified section. We'll renumber the section and organize. Right.
Further discussion today.
Chapter and
Which if
organize.
we hadn't raised the issue, then we wouldn't have, he wouldn't have seen what we're about, and we wouldn't have seen how the renumbering, and we might play table tennis for another few days. That's not good.
And we passed it. Woo-hoo. Okay. Are there any other, is there any other discussion for chapter 17, civil service? Okay, thank you for that.
I gotta change it. They took it back.
All right, and now we will go back to chapter 2, the Office of Municipal Ethics and the Ethics Commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Eric.
Bye.
Now we're going back to what page?
We are going back to page
Okay.
10. Okay. Um, So, I just want to be, so for the first highlighted, the city council shall provide by ordinance establish an ethics commission, that's for all commissions, right? They all do ordinances for commissions?
Yeah. This grammatically doesn't make any sense, but.
My,
I don't know,
my question is whether or not we really need that there,
yeah, do we need it?
Yeah.
because we're already,
Because, you're setting out some generic provisions, but it sounds like you, and it later references in section 2, updating the ethics ordinance and stuff.
Right.
Which is
Yeah.
taking
No, but
grammar-
this is the
grammar's off
commission,
in
not
that
the
yeah,
ordinance.
this is the commission, the ethics commission already exists.
Yeah, but, does it cover everything?
What do you mean?
Does the ethics chapter cover everything about ethics? All of the jurisdiction of the ethics commission, how it works, whatever, or is there other stuff to be decided by the council later by ordinance? That's the question.
The code of ethics.
Ultimately, the
So,
updates and stuff like that.
so perfect, so then you need to, yeah, so then you wanna empower through this document, you wanna empower the council to create an ethics ordinance, which lays all that out. Now, it has to be consistent with and not contrary to what we write in the charter, it's in addition to, or it flushes out the details. So the ethics code is done
That
by
flushes
ordinance.
out the details of
Right.
that code.
Right.
It's already in existence.
So it's just the same as, there shall be a legislative office, and this is how the director gets appointed, and they can have staff and stuff like that. By ordinance, you can go figure it out, go write the other details. That makes sense, so the charter just kind of says you have to have this, and here are some things that you must do, and then figure out the rest by ordinance.
Or purchasing, does the same thing, the charter says there shall be a purchasing ordinance or purchasing rules
Okay.
established by ordinance, and that's where you get all of your competitive bidding guidelines, right? In an ordinance, it's not in the charter.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Or
I just
even in
need that
civil
code.
service, it says here are the general rules for civil service, and there's a lot of specifics there, but it also says they can create their own rules by ordinance to further define their rules and procedures for how the commission operates,
Okay.
what the rules are for bumping, those sorts of things.
So a simple question, if this passes in November, we don't have to have an ordinance done by the council. We can just go into having this entire provision implemented as an office and 5 new ethics commissioners. Or do we have to wait
Well, this
for an
isn't for the
ordinance to
office, this
pass?
is just the commission. That's what that says.
That's what I'm questioning.
Well, besides Joe's point about how
Yeah, what
we
is
have to
it?
fix the
Yeah.
grammar here, it instructs the council essentially to adopt an ordinance that creates a commission. Oh, but wait a minute, don't we establish the commission here?
Yes, that's what.
Yeah, so that's, it is a little weird.
Yeah,
Wait, where are you? We're on page 10,
And
and it's the ethics,
Run under section.
section 1, ethics ordinance.
And right now it's called the ethic ordinance.
That too.
We only have one ethic.
There's no way on that.
you're actually, you're establishing the powers.
It's about all we got right now.
Yeah, it's on page,
we're missing an S.
on page,
This and this.
on page.
Okay, so if you
Take
go
out
to the
established.
if you go to the original, the OG charter, it says, the city council shall provide by ordinance for the establishment of an ethics commission for the city of Bridgeport. Do we wanna go back to that language?
Because, well, not if you're gonna create it here, I guess, I didn't realize, yeah.
We have
I think you
page
just take
12.
out established, the city council shall provide by ordinance and ethics commission.
Yeah, I thought
and
established it.
regulations to implement the procedure of.
So is the city council providing or are they establishing?
Neither, really.
Yeah.
Not with respect to the commission, I guess, with respect to the other stuff, the other rules, maybe, but not.
And it
I
wasn't,
think the charter provides for the establishment of the commission,
It says it on page 12.
so maybe,
There shall be an ethics commission which shall have the authority.
oh yeah, so
That's
it's
established in the charter
page
itself.
12, it's under
Section 3.
ethics commission, establishment, powers and duties.
maybe it should just say, city council shall provide by ordinance regulations to implement the provisions of this chapter.
Or just provide a code of ordinance, or code of ethics.
But that's already spoken to also, because with the, every 3 years, the commission has the authority to look over the ordinance, the code of ethics, and revise it and bring it to the council with a majority of votes to pass it. So I think my question is this, is that even necessary? Because everything it speaks to, we are putting in the charter.
It's already on there.
Oh, I see what you're saying, so section 2A already speaks to city council establishing a code of ethics.
Why do we have a section 1? If we have it in there,
That's what we're questioning.
That's what we're
That's
wondering.
exactly what we're questioning.
if we have
Well,
talked.
this was a council edition, I'm not really sure why.
Well,
It's in red, it was
I mean-
added by the council.
I mean, again, you do want to say somewhere that the council should create.
It does
in
We do.
section
It does
2A.
say.
2A.
But I probably shouldn't say in the periodics update section, it should be established before you update it. Right, like, that's talking about updates,
So why
that's the
can't that
first line.
statement be just the council shall enact a code of ethics by ordinance?
Yeah,
Period.
Right.
In collaboration with the Ethics Commission.
well, it doesn't have to be, it
Right.
should be.
Mm.
Mm.
But,
I mean,
ordinance sounds
and-
like
but I think that kind of speaks, any ordinance would get the input of the party or the body responsible for it, right? Like if they, for instance, food trucks, when they do an ordinance specific to food trucks, they consult with the health director. I mean, I think that goes without saying.
You have to consult.
But my question is, and this is to make sure that, in future, things are just not ignored where the commission itself is ignored. If I just don't feel it's proper to have just the ordinance committee and the council deal directly with the ethics rules by themselves. I think it needs to have input, absolute input by the ethics commission.
Well, they can get input, I mean,
I
any
think it should be
ordinance,
charter.
but you can't mandate it because they're the law creators, right? They're the legislative body, so you can't mandate that they consult with anyone. I mean, they should, right? And anybody can consult because any ordinance requires a public hearing, so anybody can speak on an ordinance. But to say they have to do it in consultation with the ethics ordinance, I think it's improper.
But then section 2A would apply where the ethics commission gets involved every 3 years, or give or take.
Well, I think that says that the ethics commission has a requirement to provide some sort of update or input. It doesn't mandate that the council accept it, it just mandates that they do it, right? And so, yeah, sure, they should do that. But as to whether or not the council has to do anything with that, I don't think we can force that issue.
But if it's, so then we'll require the adoption of a vote though.
2/3 majority.
Yeah, I think this is getting dicey.
I'm not,
Well, they passed it, so let's leave it.
I'm not
Yes.
understanding did we start before we tossed it to the city council for their commentary? Our chapter 2 started with statement of purpose?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. Why aren't we there?
because we're trying to decide whether or not what the council put in is relevant.
It doesn't seem to be relevant, does it?
It is, it's just out of place, right? So I
Okay.
think what Sue said is probably the appropriate thing to do, which is to take the first sentence out of 2A and stick it in 1.
Section 1.
And that deals with the issue completely.
Okay. so-
Wait, say that again?
So the first sentence in section 2A, which is periodic update to the ethics ordinance, it starts with the council shall enact a code of ethics by ordinance. If you move that sentence to section 1 ethics ordinance, it deals with your issue completely.
Yeah, That's fine.
Clean and simple.
Okay, so,
Very good, thank you, Sue.
And put an S on the ethics.
Right.
I got it.
okay, repeat please what is taking place, so I can.
We are
find it in my
moving the
notes.
first sentence from periodic update of ethics ordinance, which is the council shall enact a code of ethics by ordinance, and we're moving it to section 1 under ethics ordinance, which is currently ethic ordinance. We're gonna change that to.
So just this first sentence. So then, yeah, that, okay.
Right, that deals with it.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay, and who is moving and who is seconding?
I'll move.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion passes. Okay. All right, so we've, handled, this is moved to section. Joe. Wait, was it Susan and John or Susan and Joe?
Done.
Okay. Alright, so back to page 10. In the statement of purpose, in the second paragraph, is it possible to put in the code, the, where it says, Code of Ethics Ordinance, can we put the 2.38 in there?
What is that?
So at the end of 238 is the ordinance that's online.
Well, but what if the number changes and it's gonna be stuck in the charter with the wrong number?
okay, fine. Alright, so change, number might change.
But what's the concern with that? You just wanted to make sure there was a reference to where it currently
Yeah, I
exists?
just wanted to
Uh,
make it really clear, but since it is possible for change, never mind. Okay, page 11.
Can I make one recommendation?
Sure.
Section 2, can we number the paragraphs or do A, B, C, D like we do everywhere else? I just don't like
Yeah.
paragraphs not
Mhm.
having.
I like that.
Okay.
And then D, okay.
Yeah.
So we are, for this section, adding A through D enumeration. Do we need to vote on that?
I'll make a motion, number the paragraph.
I'll second that motion.
Joe
All in favor?
and Susan, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that was, thank you, section 2. Thank you. Okay, so if we're looking at the D now, Code of Ethics Ordinance covering all public officials. It's really tiny, but should that or be italicized at between entities either seeking or conducting business?
It doesn't have to be. Want me to remove it?
Yeah, I don't know, emphasizing it, okay, and then at the bottom, where it says the clerk in wait, no, is this where I want it? Okay, yeah. The city clerk in collaboration with the Office of Municipal Ethics shall provide all public officials and employees of the city with copies of provision, blah, 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 and the implementation of ordinance. Is there any way we could put, and they will, and require that everybody will read and sign the ethics policy that nobody knew about in one of the meetings that we held? And sign that, well, basically read over the ordinance, the 2.38, and sign this.
So by everyone, you mean all boards and commissions, all council members, all employees, all who?
Board, well, elected official, whoever is supposed to sign this anyway. Who is supposed to sign this?
What does that, it says they're supposed to sign it?
Yes, this is the ethics policy that has acknowledgement letter that's supposed to be signed by people in this city that work here. Yep. When you Google, that's what comes up. So, read and sign, and also annual training.
Well, this part, it's,
So is this part of, or is orientation perhaps for city employees? I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I don't know, but I wish we, because maybe Eric
Yeah,
knew.
Eric would have known.
I should have asked him. But I do wanna add something about annual reading and signing of that document in the charter or somewhere, or, I don't know.
Okay,
But-
so this is all officials and employees of the city of Bridgeport as of the date of the policy will receive a copy of the ethics policy and will be required to sign the acknowledgement receipt. So
When they do
this
their
is all
onboarding.
employees and.
When they do their onboarding.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's when you do that.
yeah, it's
when
probably
they're
part of
onboarding.
orientation.
Yeah, but somehow it's not happening because many people did not even know what that was.
I'm not aware, but I could have signed it during my orientation too,
Yeah.
that was 10 years ago. I mean.
A lot of people sign those things.
So
too.
I
we
wanna
get- we get
Could have been
lots.
one of many forms you sign that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know.
they give you a bunch
So
of
it needs
stuff
to
when
be
you start.
annual, there needs to be, like, I'm just gonna say this, in the field of, yes, in the field of education, we have to go through harassment training, trafficking, bloodborne pathogens, cyberbullying, all of these trainings we take every single year at the beginning of the year. It keeps us, honest? It keeps
More,
us
more
in the know.
aware of the
It
current
keeps us
situation.
Yes,
aware.
Yeah. be-
And honestly, like, look at what was in the paper now, and then there was something else in the paper. Our public officials and employees are not maintaining their ethical behavior, and they need a reminder, similar to what educators do. We deal with kids. We have to do training every year, annually. I get trainings, I have to go through all of them. It's boring, but I have to do it. It keeps me
I deal with
aware.
the special meetings.
You know?
When I'm not in the office on my part-time, and we do that, and, but that's a different environment.
I don't
than
care.
this.
Look
It's a
at what's
different
happening though.
environment, But it's a different environment.
Look at what is happening.
That suggests that it's happening because people aren't aware.
They aren't aware,
No,
they
they're
aren't paying
aware.
attention.
Okay, that's my point. I think
They're
people
aware.
are-
They're aware, no,
They're
listen,
aware.
listen.
aware.
But if it's on their conscience every year,
It's on
it's a
their
different,
conscience,
no,
believe
it's
me.
not.
Yes,
No,
it
it's
is.
not.
They know
So-
what they're doing.
Who's going to provide the training?
The ethics office.
But I also feel like well, a couple things. One, your comment about like recent events and stuff like that, is I thought who would be
It's not
such.
recent, it's been since 2000,
But I'm just
since
saying,
that.
I'm just saying, like, even the recent couple of articles that have come out, almost none of those people would be subject to this policy, so I'm not really
Didn't
sure.
it just say elected officials have to sign that?
It was only out of the, again, recent articles that you cited,
And
only one.
employees.
There was only one that
There was only
would have
one,
had
yeah.
to sign it. Second of all, I just think we're trying to design a charter here, and we're not supposed to be doing, I feel like we're going into the work of the commission now. And if some of you wanna serve on the commission later, and sort of figure out how you implement this thing, and what are we gonna ask people to do, what are we gonna recommend to the council, the ordinance. But I feel like we're getting really deep into it, into the weeds, which is
Too technical.
perhaps a little beyond where we're supposed to be, because if we decide everything as part of the charter, there'll be nothing left for the commission to do.
But if we observe the way ordinances get set up, they get hot discussion and agreement up front, and then they're removed to someone else to deal with, and nobody observes, nobody does oversight on a regular basis. So we can't count on carrot or stick. Is that right? If that's the understanding here,
Well, my response to that though is I think that's why the language in here says the commission needs to do X, Y, and Z. This is what they're empowered to do, and by the way, you want them to keep people updated. I think this document is, the appropriate discussion we've already had is, how does the commission set up? How do you give it independence? What are its duties? How often is it supposed to be looking at the stuff to keep it fresh and updated, because that's not happening?
So
That's the work
what
of
you're
the charter.
saying is an annual statement can be made by them.
The director.
Ultimately,
training.
they're the ones that are supposed to decide what's necessary and what's
Right.
needed,
Not us.
you know what I mean? And I think the work of the charter is to tell the commission what to do, and then the commission's supposed to then do its work, you know?
So commission members are required to have
Right,
training? But they're
commission
not-
members, but
So
they-
you're saying you want to require them to provide training in addition to obtaining training?
The director should be.
Well, the
doing
director, it does say
Director.
something about the
it.
director.
The director would be doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, the director, because when I directed the house, I would.
All right, so I'll just have to talk to the director. All right,
Yeah,
wait a minute,
that's
let me
it.
see if I have everything off of that, yep, okay.
All right, and my concerns here, in D again, where it says conflicts of interests, recusal and, to put in the line, after conflicts of interest, in corrupt practices. Those are two distinctly different things.
I'm sorry, where are we now?
We're on
Oh, so
D.
we're still on D, we're in the red, where it says including conflict of interest, recusal, and public disclosure.
I would like to add in corrupt practices. Those are two distinctly set different things versus conflict of interest and corrupt practices are two different things. I Googled it.
Are you talking about corrupt practices or
So it'd be,
illegal, I mean,
Corrupt practices, I think. it says.
Illegal behavior.
I'm still confused about what page we're on. I'm
We're
sorry.
on
Page 11,
92.
the new
Top
top
page,
paragraph.
top of it, what are you want?
Where the
what
red
top-
is, in the top paragraph. Yeah, where the red is, in the top paragraph.
You have to put it in there.
Oh, they
After
keep referencing
conflict.
D, oh,
So
okay.
we're gonna name
Yeah,
it
they're
A, B, C, and this is D. We're
Gotcha.
ordering,
Okay.
we're numbering,
I got you.
or lettering
The
them.
purpose of the code is.
Sue, I don't,
I-
difference between
I'm-
corrupt and illegal.
I'm not sure what the statement is trying to get at
Right.
here.
If you,
well,
I
we
can Google.
didn't insert it,
No, you
the
just,
council did.
you have to, but here's, well, the council inserted it because they removed in the next in the next section, B, C, and D.
Right.
Saying that that was probably too much to deal with here, that it should become part of the,
Well, it's in the
It
It
ordinance.
says conflict. of
so
interest.
that's why they moved
I
it from, so they moved it up and got rid of those things, but you're saying add, or John is saying
Just
add
the term in
corrupt.
corrupt practices. Those are two separate things.
Yeah, I know, just, but, so
Well, it
read,
says it in the crossed out section where it says conflict of interest and corrupt
that's
practices, we
what I
just
just
wanna
read.
put corrupt practices with.
Yeah,
the-
I get it,
You wanna go to
just
that,
read,
yeah.
just read the sentence and see how that flows,
Right.
because I don't think that it
The
does.
purpose of the code is to establish suitable ethical standards, including conflicts of interest, comma, corrupt practices, comma.
But, no, you don't wanna say that.
No,
You
because
don't
you're
wanna
trying to
say
say
that.
suitable ethical standard
You-
for
you-
corrupt
you don't wanna,
practices.
you don't wanna say that.
So help me.
Exactly.
So what
that's
you
what
wanna
I'm
say though
saying.
is, the
You don't
purpose of the
wanna
code
say
is to establish suitable ethical standards, including disclosure of conflict of interests, recusals, and I don't know about public disclosure, why is that different than the first one, I'm not quite sure, but what the ethical standard that you're establishing is not a conflict of interest, it's disclosing a conflict of interest. It's recusing yourself in a situation, and then the third thing I don't really know. So I don't think that the corrupt practice should be here because it's not speaking to establishing a suitable ethical standard.
But the second part of the paragraph after the comma, by providing acts, deals with corrupt practices.
Okay,
Somewhat implicitly, so if you wanna say it more explicitly, that's the section of the sentence where you'd wanna put it.
In other words, I think what Sue is saying is you wanna, in that line that you're trying to amend, Commissioner Hosier, you wanna state it in the positive,
right,
Right.
right,
as
right.
opposed to the
That's right.
negative.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
So what would the recommendation be?
Well, I
think it's covered.
I think
Take a
you just,
stab at
I
it.
think you just rewrote some part of this, so
The
let's
purpose of the
do that.
code is to establish suitable ethical standards, including disclosures of conflicts of interests and recusals. I don't know if you need to get,
Well, can we say, conflict, including disclosures of conflict of interest and, no.
And recusals by prohibiting corrupt practices or actions incompatible with the discharge, so that's where you would put it, after acts. By prohibiting corrupt
There
practices.
we go, yes.
Wait, by prohibiting acts.
No, take out acts, prohibiting corrupt practices or actions incompatible with the discharge of public duties and in the best interest of the city. And by directing the disclosure of private blah, 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 which is somewhat redundant, but
Wait,
Right.
I get it.
what practices do we say? Corrupt practices?
I don't know, I don't like that.
I don't like that
Term.
corrupt word,
Yeah,
right? I don't like it
I
either.
don't.
Well,
don't like that.
prohibiting corrupt practices.
Well, I understand that part, but I feel like
That word.
you're prohibiting acts or actions incompatible with the discharge of public duties is a
Is-
nice way of saying,
Corrupt
don't
practice.
corrupt.
Yeah.
I just don't like that word.
He wants it said explicitly.
Yes.
That's not working.
Thank you, Susan.
That's not working.
Just in case there's any misunderstandings.
It's there, so are we
All right,
leaving it as is, but changing that beginning part? Or no?
Yes.
So,
So exactly how it's gonna read.
The
Yeah.
purpose of the code is to establish suitable ethical standards, including disclosures of conflicts of interest and recusals by prohibiting,
And public disclosure requirements.
well,
Not
public,
and
it's
recusals.
redundant.
That's redundant.
Yeah,
It's redundant.
Yeah.
You just said disclosure
Disclosures
of
of-
conflict of interest.
yeah, so you don't have to say it again.
By prohibiting acts or actions incompatible with the discharge of public duties and the best interests of the city. And by directing, this is all the same, by directing disclosure of private, financial interest or personal gain
yeah, it's there.
beyond that of the general public in matters affecting the city by the elected and appointed officials or employees, as well as such individuals and entities seeking to and conducting business with the city.
I'm not a teacher, but I would think that's a run-on
It's a little
sentence,
run-on,
right?
little run.
It's how
It's
lawyers
very
write,
long.
it's the way lawyers write, unfortunately, like, it's terrible, I know, but there's some commas to break it up a little bit.
So you
But
can take a breath.
but it's all one thought,
It is, it is.
it's all one thought.
So, the language is, the change part is just including disclosures of conflict of interest and recusals.
Right,
Correct.
and taking out the public disclosure requirements.
And everything else, basically what we want is in that sentence, in that paragraph.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you explain, okay, I just,
Go ahead, explain what.
Next to the last line, where it's sections 2 and 3 in the implementing ordinances, what exactly is that?
Where are
Is
you?
that
Well,
The next to last line, D.
in D,
The
the state
provisions.
statute 2.3, or 2-3, is that
Is
the
that it?
ordinance that we have?
State statute?
No, I don't know.
I'm asking what that is. That's
Where is this now?
It-
Next to last.
SS, it's like
Oh.
double
SS
S and then
2-3.
Oh,
2-3.
2, 3.
Is that the,
Implementing, I just don't know
is
what
that the
is.
code of,
so you give the city clerk a responsibility, and no one has challenged it, and yet it's the town clerk at the moment who's keeping the location, the sign-in for registration of annual, residents. So why do we move from,
where are you?
I'm in the last sentence of D.
Oh, okay.
The
and
city
it-
clerk.
Which is just in dark, no one's changed it, and I'm just raising the
Well, it
city-
has been changed, I mean, this is not, because we added the municipal office of ethics.
No,
Let's talk about the city clerk.
the city clerk, last sentence, in collaboration with the Office of Municipal Ethics, shall provide all public officials and employees of the city with copies of the provisions of 2 and 3 above, whatever numbers we gotta get in there, and the implementing ordinances and policies enacted hereunder upon the commencement of their public service and/or employment, and annually thereafter.
Because I think the city clerk is responsible for doing the orientation for council. I'm not sure if they're responsible for orientation
Well-
of boards and commissions. Is there an orientation?
No.
There
No,
isn't, so they
no.
do the council one. I know what you're saying the town clerk collects the residency
Right.
filings,
So-
and why are we moving
Well-
it from city clerk to town clerk?
If I could make a more generic comment about consistent
That's
with what I
what I'm
said
trying to
before.
get to.
Aren't we doing the work of the commission again with this last sentence? We're determining what's the best way to ensure that people are acting ethically. And we've talked about what documents they should get, what training they should get, what things they should sign. We're getting into the weeds again. I actually, and quite frankly, depending on who you're talking about, to John's point, determines who does this thing. Then the city council, it's the city clerk, because they're currently the clerk of the council. You know how I feel about that. And then the town clerk would deal with the other boards and commissions, and then the civil service office / labor would deal with employees. But again, we're getting into the weeds. I would actually just strike this sentence and let the commission deal with this stuff.
Well, why don't we just start?
And what if 2.3 changes in state
Right,
statute,
right.
what if, you know what I mean, like, that's why this stuff has to go in the
I
charter.
don't know that that's provisions of 2-3 of anywhere. I think it's sections 2 and 3 of this chapter. So basically saying they need to receive something that speaks to the general provisions of this chapter and with section 3 of the Ethics Commission. So is it the expectation that all people will receive information relative to this? That's what you're asking for. So sections 2 and 3 of this chapter.
And I just think, we're getting into the weeds of what the office of municipal ethics is gonna do in the ethics commission.
So perhaps you just say that it should get done, but not delegate it to any particular person, although the
The
difficulty.
municipal, it should be delegated to the municipal office of ed. That would be their responsibility.
For making sure.
Yes. Instead of having the city clerk involved, you just have the office
What's wrong with
itself.
just leaving it?
Well, because
John-
you're delegating it to someone who you're not sure that's who it's gonna be delegated to, and if it's in the charter, you're stuck with it.
Well, who does it go to now? Who's signing these?
We still haven't figured that out.
Who's getting these?
Yeah, but again, you're
That's
dealing
true.
with, you've covered so many different types of people. You've got city council members, board and commission members, and all employees. And depending on who you're dealing with is who's providing the information. And so that's the point that everyone's trying to make, which is, if you wanna say, the Office of Municipal Ethics
Yes.
and or the Office of, the commission shall
That's
make this information available as appropriate or whatever, some like generic
Yeah.
charge, like,
Yeah.
you gotta make sure this
Right.
gets out there, that's great. Once you start deciding what's getting out there and who's doing it, now you're in trouble.
So perhaps it's the Office of Municipal Ethics shall provide or ensure all public officials and employees of the city
Yes.
receive copies. So then you don't have to figure out how that's done now, just that it happens.
How about the city council, in its wisdom, shall provide,
You lost me at wisdom, John.
Stop.
in
They're
its
elected
future
officials.
wisdom, okay?
It is.
But I like,
This is recorded.
This is.
that's okay.
I'm just saying.
I don't think he regrets it.
Elected by the people of this city.
Well, you can expect a
He
phone
He's
call from about
experienced,
20
he's
Let-
witnessed.
Let it be known that I'm being serious, not sarcastic, and have not laughed at the humor in the room. But upon
Or lack
the,
thereof.
upon the commencement of their public service and or employment, it shouldn't just be one time.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why I was trying
So
to
I
say
wanna
something
add-
annually.
I wanna add the clause, just to this sentence, before we strike down the sentence or endorse it, and annually thereafter.
Wait.
So,
Can I just say one thing? I wanna get back to what Tom said. We're talking about what we want the Ethics Commission to do. We're trying to put it in the charter. We want the Ethics Commission to, we're doing the work of the commission.
Yeah.
By
we just
putting
not-
all these, I think there's a whole lot of weeds that
Yeah.
we've
I agree.
got in here.
I agree.
That we could
Well-
really simplify. And we could also present this to the Ethics Commission, once it is, it's all said and done, that this was our intent. but that is the work of the commission.
You're taking their work away.
Mhm.
What do
Right.
we need them
I
for? We're
agree.
putting everything in here, we don't
And
even
what
need
if they say, you
commissions.
know what, we wanna do this twice a year, because we think it's ridiculous, but the charter says we do it once a year. You know what I mean,
Right.
that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
Right, we want to keep it open for them to grow that commission and that office.
And that's
no-
what we
allow
said.
them to allow-
And
So
figure out
we
the
said.
details of what John Lee raised,
So
which
we
is,
said.
okay, if I wanna
Sure.
make sure, if I wanna target city council, who's the appropriate authority? Is that the Office of Legislative Services, city clerk, and they'll talk to those people and figure that out. Or it's boards and commissions, who do I deal with? Oh, let me talk to Christina Resto and find out how the town clerk's office would administer that. It's consistent with what you said, John, I
Right.
think.
And instead of saying annually, then if that's distasteful, is it distasteful because the concept is wrong or just because it's too much detail? And we've got too little detail in our current charter, I would argue, and therefore,
Mhm.
and no less than every third year thereafter.
So how about this might be a little
Okay.
too ambiguous.
Yeah, I haven't had the legal training, but I'm following.
All right, so perhaps this is
Please
the
talk about
sentence.
the section we're on.
So, yeah, the last sentence that we're dealing
Okay.
with. So, the Office of Municipal Ethics shall ensure all public officials and employees of the city receive copies of the provision of section 2 and 3 of this chapter and the implementation of ordinances, or they wanna receive, wait a second. So, receive copies of provisions of sections 2 and 3 of this chapter and ordinances and policies enacted hereunder upon the commencement of their public service and or employment and regularly thereafter. So you don't have to define what regularly is,
That's good.
but okay.
Mhm.
Thank
Okay,
you for
so I
listening.
have a question though. Why are we going to be giving employees and officials general provisions and ethics commission if that's,
Because we're trying to cover everything, that's
no,
why.
stop.
No.
What, how is this section and that section helpful to them versus,
I don't know, I think
These-
that's what was already there. I think that's what you all drafted.
Basically, the only thing we wanna make sure they get is a copy of all the ethics standards that are in the city of Bridgeport, and that they're periodically updated on it. That's the bottom line on it.
So you use the
The
ethics
municipal,
ordinance?
yeah, the ethics
so that's
ordinance
it,
itself.
the ordinance and this ethics policy?
Those two things need to be put in their hands, and
Okay.
it could be done by the municipal office of ethics. It doesn't need to be done by, we just have to make sure that they get it in their hands and they sign it. And periodically afterwards, they get updated, say every 3 years, they have to,
No, this should
I
be
don't know if
every
a
year.
yearly basis should.
But
be-
that's something else, the
Yeah.
ordinance is something else. Can you read what the wonderful words you said?
Well, you guys are changing them though. So are we changing the words?
Okay, you can answer.
Yeah, I'll wait until you do.
You wanna change it to just ordinances, okay. So,
Well,
the Office of Municipal Ethics shall ensure all public officials and employees of the city receive copies of the ethics ordinance and policies enacted hereunder upon commencement of public service and or employment and regularly thereafter.
That's perfect.
that's
Okay.
excellent.
That's
Yes.
perfect. It's one less thing you have to do on Monday.
Yeah, I have to figure out what I wrote, I have to figure out how to read this.
That's
Well,
perfect.
say it slowly and I'll type it in right now. I'm serious.
While the quorum's out of the room.
Okay.
The Office of Municipal Ethics shall ensure all public officials and employees
Of the city receive copies of the ethics ordinance and policies enacted hereunder upon commencement of their
wait, and policies enacted
hereunder.
here under,
Or you, maybe under this chapter, if that's clear.
okay, under this chapter,
Upon the commencement of their public service and or employment and regularly thereafter.
That's perfect.
thank you.
That's open,
Thank you.
that's open.
And I don't have to remember, read my writing.
Alright.
I do the
And I
same
will,
thing.
it's very messy in here too, so
That'll be easier to understand.
you have it already.
Just,
You have this document online already.
You already sent it?
Yep,
So she's just updating it.
yep, I'm just updating it. I sent you
Now-
the live document. It's a link.
When did you send that to me?
This week,
Last-
like twice.
Okay, I looked at that and I couldn't, I thought that's what.
It looks like this.
But wait, I looked at the link and I didn't get it. I said, oh, she sent it.
It looks
to me.
like this.
And first it starts off with the resolution.
And it's from you, right, Faith?
Yep.
I thought that's what that was, but I couldn't find
Where we have also here, where it says section 2, general provisions, shouldn't be section 3. Because we have section, or to get rid of the first section 1, ethics ordinance.
Oh,
No, you're right, it's
Yep.
green.
It's section 3. So we'll vote on that
When-
soon,
When Mr.
when Mr.
Godek-
Godek gets here.
So that, and we'd also end up changing section 3 to section 4, section 4 to 5,
And that's it.
yeah. Just gotta wait for time to get back to vote on that one motion.
That's what I thought it was right there. Is that it?
These are, that's what I downloaded.
Okay, cause see, I can read, I can't read all this stuff off of here.
You can have it for a while and then return it.
No, I'll print it once she shows it to me when I get home.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you for showing it to me. You see it, Faith?
Click on the link.
I think you was all in my phone number. I had something for my boyfriend on it.
You gave it to her.
It's not like I haven't seen stuff before.
We're on tape.
Oh, thank you.
Listen, I just watched, oh, somebody's on it. Are you on it?
What?
You're on my document now.
Yeah, that's me. That's, you know when somebody's on here?
You
You
are,
are so controlling. Faith.
currently,
You are
right?
so controlling.
Who did you get that from? I wonder.
What?
You are an anonymous blobfish.
Why?
That's what it says.
What?
Our
Talk to
quorum
Google.
is no longer, here he is.
Okay, so thank you for noticing the changes to the to the sections. So those have to be changed.
So we
Can
need
we
to
vote on this language? I will read it.
I'm gonna move that
Okay,
we-
John's moving it.
I'm gonna move that we attend to paragraph 1D of chapter 2, and that the final paragraph, or final sentence of the paragraph D, which Taisha has presented, the Office of Municipal Ethics shall provide all public officials and employees of the city with copies of the provisions of section 3 and the implementing ordinances and policies enacted hereunder upon the commencement of their public service and/or employment and regularly thereafter.
I second.
Okay, I just wanna say that there's
Did I-
there's
I know it's
different
different.
language. I'm
than
gonna
what she
read it.
said.
The Office of Municipal
Yeah.
Ethics shall
Did you hear it?
ensure.
At the end.
Office of Municipal Ethics
Ensure.
shall ensure
Shall ensure
all
instead
public
of
officers
provide.
and employees of the city receive, and then everything else.
Okay.
Is there a
The
second?
verb.
I second it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes, thank you.
Awesome, okay. And then we're renumbering, we don't need to vote on that.
No.
I do wanna go down to B, violations. And the last part that was stricken, the referral of criminal investigation to the state attorney,
Wait a minute.
so can we have some explanation as to why that was crossed out?
Trying to remember the conversation.
Any individual found in violation of the code of ethics may appeal the final decision in Superior Court.
think there was a concern about law enforcement, this becoming, I don't know.
It shouldn't be here, it should be maybe in the ordinance.
No, I don't think that it should be,
I was gonna suggest that we just stick the word in, make it.
I mean, if it's a criminal investigation, yeah, I don't know, I can't recall what the conversation was, but there was some reason why it was thought to be inappropriate there.
Well, I guess we're just trying to think if it does end up being a criminal investigation, then it goes to the state's attorney, you know.
Right, it's kind of right outside of our jurisdiction.
So leave
Say
it.
it's the obvious, I mean, you can always send something
You
to
could
the
do
state's
that.
attorney for
Okay.
them to investigate if they want to. And you can always appeal a final decision of of any public agency to Superior Court, so it states the obvious, you don't need it to say it.
Okay, so
But I don't know that this is appealable to the Superior Court. And I think that was part of the conversation as to whether or not we had the jurisdiction to do that. I think that has to be enabled by statute, and there was no enabling legislation for it. And because there's specific enabling legislation for referral to Superior Court for other agencies, like the Freedom of Information Commission or the CHRO or those agencies, but there isn't any particular agency here that has the authority to refer to Superior Court, but somebody can always file an
Possible,
action,
what if we
right?
put
I
the
mean, you can
word,
file an action.
what if we put in the word possible referral?
No, anything is possible anyway, we don't need the word.
we don't need to rate it.
It
Yeah,
would seem-
I
it would
think we're
seem-
making it messy because we're not necessarily, I think we're overstepping.
That's what I just want, okay. And then I forgot to mention this one too, so thank you for that clarification. Above that, if you go 1, 2, 3 lines above where it says officials, are we using, I know we had a long conversation about officials, are we keeping that word there?
I'm sorry, which section?
So it's same violations, it says, it's the third line down towards the end, towards the right, it says, be imposed against officials and employees.
Okay.
So is that word,
Can this be imposed against employees?
Violations of ethics?
What about,
well, they're signing this,
I don't
if
see
they
why
should.
Well, the question is, can you,
Well, I wasn't talking about
Find the employees?
can a public agency, so like when we discipline an employee, they have due process rights, they get hearing in front of labor, like there's a whole process that we have to go through in order to discipline. Question is, can an agency discipline?
And I don't
Employee.
recall that we ever give our employees fines.
That's not typically how you deal with an employee. An employee who breaks the rules gets suspended, fired, written up,
Yeah.
whatever. There's
Well,
a
it
whole
says, but,
different.
and are not limited to reprimand and censure.
See, that's more, those remedies are more for public officials that are on boards and commissions and elected officials, because you can't take holidays away, you can't suspend them, you can't terminate them. You know what I mean? Like employees they follow a different set of rules.
And if you suspend an employee, you're already taking away money, they're suspended without pay, right?
So my
And then you
thing,
can't fine them.
So,
my thinking is to just remove employees from this because they just don't follow the same set of rules.
well,
but then
How
above,
about
we're
the-
talking about employees, though.
how about saying
section.
or employees? Because then, in other words, eliminating employees from all of this is not something we're gonna approve easily. And so it softens it if you just, or sanctions to be imposed against officials and employees. This is passed out of our committee to the city council, hasn't been changed.
Right.
So, but I put in the or, since we're not treating them the same, and it's being pointed out to us that there are remedies, there are other actions that can be taken depending on whether you're an official or an employee. It's just to take the universe.
Yeah, and I actually agree with your statement reading this again. The line where where employees is included, it just says, figure out how they got there. Are they, who appointed them, or are they elected? and then figure out what sanctions are appropriate, go.
Right.
And then it says in the next line, and by the way, the commission can levy a fine, may levy a fine up to $250. Didn't really say
Must.
who must, it doesn't say who that applies to,
Who
blah, blah,
can.
blah. I think it's fine, I agree.
Right, so I just
So you're
substitute, I would move that we soften the sentence only to the extent of just saying, or, instead of and, officials or employees. And what that does to me is it allows a body in the future to differentiate that there was some thought given to that.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're changing and to or.
Yeah. Any, we need a seconder?
A second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right, thank you.
Now, in regards to the levying of the fines, we've gone through this a bit, but who's responsible for pursuing collection? That's not in here, it was taken out. And
Where was it?
it was, I think we had decided that the office, the director of the office, would enforce the, collection of the fines. It was in there, it's not in there anymore.
Do we know if 250 is the statutory max?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah. But that's, the question is if violations occur, say each violation, there's 4 violations, that's $1,000. It's been discussed that, well, you know, it's only $1,000, we don't have to pursue it. But we don't even have anything in here to say who has the authority to pursue it.
Well, the director of the office would have authority.
But it's not in
I
here.
think it would be the commission actually, so it's a good, I guess it's a good thing that you're raising it because you're already seeing a disagreement. I think it's probably the commission and not the director. You don't wanna give that sort of power to one person, right? I mean,
The director with the,
Well, you're saying, no, you're just saying after the commission's voted to find
who
somebody
collects the money.
who collects. I
Okay,
mean, I
yeah.
don't think you need to decide that here, I think people need to figure it out, you know? City attorney's office probably involved, maybe the person in the ethics office has to get involved, who knows?
that's my suggestion, is that you just put it in this chapter, that someone does have the authority to collect that money.
Well, if the ethics commission may levy the fines, wouldn't they be the people to collect the fines they levy? Kinda like the parking authority, like they give you the fine, you go pay them.
Yeah.
Right.
If they're giving the fine, they should be getting the fine back, or
Yeah.
collecting it, if
Yeah.
they're giving it.
Just the point.
Now, does the ethics commission have to establish how they are able to collect fines? Like the parking authority would have, you know, website and click, 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 and, I mean, do we need to address that, or
No.
just
We've
leave
not
it
in
be?
here.
Yeah, and I don't think the here would.
Well, so where it says the commission may
Process. They
levy,
can figure out process.
so do you wanna say the commission may levy and collect fines?
That's appropriate.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is,
It just gives them the authority to do that specifically.
section 3, general provisions, we're looking at B, so the new language will, where is it again?
Levy and collect.
May levy.
The ethics commission may levy and collect fines.
And they can set up their own way that they wanna do it.
Okay, so John Hosier, you're motioning it, anyone wanna second that?
I'll second it.
All those approved? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Okay, page 12, the new section 4. B, membership, it's, where did it go? Okay, now I can't find it, but somewhere, bona fide electors, somewhere, I wrote it in the wrong place.
Oh, it's in B. It's the Ethics Commission shall consist of 5 members, all of whom shall be
Oh, there it is, yes, you're right.
bona fide electors of the city.
Since we're using the bona fide elector in other places, is it necessary here, or is electors fine?
No, I think there's a consistency to it.
I'm sorry, what section are you in, Tom?
So we're in section,
Page 12,
page 12.
B, first sentence,
Okay.
under membership. It's to insert between whom shall be electors is the way it reads right now. We're putting in adjectival bona fide.
See, to be done with that.
Do we need any,
I have,
do we need to vote on that or no? In front of that, okay, good. Yours.
Section 3A, the council put in, which shall be reviewed and approved by the city attorney as to form and legality. I'd like to recommend
Wait, where are you? Oh,
A,
okay.
3A, well, I'm sorry, it's 3A right now. It's what the council put in, which shall be reviewed and approved by the city attorney as to form and legality. I'd like to change that to this. Just because it says approved by the city attorney, I'd like to say the city attorney may offer recommendations as to form and legality.
Well, I'm gonna push back on that, because that's the same language we use for ordinance creation. The city attorney has to review and approve for form and legality. We're not gonna delegate that to a commission of people who are not lawyers, right? I mean, I think we have an obligation to make sure that anything that comes out of the city is legal.
that's right.
So I wouldn't agree
So
with that.
the only question, the reason I question that is it appeared to me that the city attorney could overrule what the ethics commission decided.
Only to the extent that it's not legal.
Yeah, it's only if it's not legal.
Only if it's not
But they're
legal.
they're just ensuring that what the commission is doing is legal.
That's
Yeah,
their job.
and form, right? So this is not substance.
Consistency.
It's not substance.
And
We
that's
don't
their
touch
job.
substance.
That's just the way I read it, that for the clarification.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to move, just for completeness, section 3A, to approve that sentence in red,
Which-
and to add the bona fide that we passed on.
We already voted on that.
Did we? No, we didn't hold a vote on it. We decided not to.
Oh, no, sorry, I was looking at the wrong one.
That's okay. So I'm taking in 3. In A, change in red is to be approved.
Just, I'm sorry, one change, that section became 4.
Yep, it's
4,
4.
yeah, it's 4.
Thank
Oh,
you.
3
And
is
on my
4.
document, I have it as the new, like, section 3, that's, the changed one.
So it's section 4 now.
It's really section 4.
Ethics Commission.
Yep.
Where is section 3?
Section 3 is general provisions. We're just changing the
We
number.
changed the number.
Because it's
they were
1, 2.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
There were 2 2s.
2 became 3.
There were 2 2s, so.
Two, two.
Okay, so, say that again, John, what was your?
So, recognizing section 4 having to do with the Ethics Commission, I would like to recognize that we're approving the red sentence in A, which shall be reviewed and approved by the city attorney as to form and legality, and in B, to add the words bona fide, or one word, electors as adjectival of the electors of the city.
Yeah.
Inserting the words. Thank you.
Legality there is spelt wrong.
Correct.
Okay, I second that.
We'll change it.
And you'll-
When we accept all the red lines, it'll all pop up, everything that's.
Oh, yeah, right?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Fantastic. That's
And I just, one other point,
For section 3?
section 3, where it says, in addition to the aforementioned powers and duties, the board shall have such other duties and powers as may be provided, blah, 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 blah. Is that absolutely necessary to be in there?
Where are you?
Where are you?
He's in A.
Section 3, Section
last.
4A,
Oh, section
Okay.
4.
and when it starts the,
In addition to the
in addition to
aforementioned.
the aforementioned powers and duties, the board shall have, and that should say, actually say commission, I believe, shall have such other duties and powers as may be provided by any code of ethics ordinance or other ordinances. Is that necessary to be in there, or is it redundant?
I'm not sure that it's redundant, I just think that it probably is expansive, and I don't know why we thought to put that there. But this looks, if it's not in red, it's whatever you all, yeah,
Yeah.
recommend it, so, but I can take it out if you
Well,
want.
let me just,
No,
can I
just
ask a question on it?
Mhm.
Is it possible that the commission could say, oh, that ordinance says we have to do that, but that's not in the charter, so I don't have to do that? That's the only thing that that sentence would prevent. But I don't think that that would be the case. If there's an ordinance that
Or a new
over
statute.
defines or overpowers what is
I
or
think
isn't
we
in the
need
charter.
to have it there because the ordinance, this is, where is it? So, like, this is
I don't know
what the
where that
city
is.
council does or whatever.
I was just wondering what the.
Yeah,
So-
no, it's a good question.
What?
I was just wondering if there are additional duties and powers granted elsewhere. If there are, you don't wanna remove it.
We can keep it, I was just, just a question.
I just don't know where else they would come from.
But we should change board to commission.
Yeah, I did, I changed that.
So what are our thoughts? Do we want it out? Do we want it in?
I
And what are
think
the
no harm,
implications
no,
if
I
we
think
take it
no
out?
harm, no foul.
Yeah, just
I
leave it alone.
think that
Just
you
leave
could
it.
Just leave
be
it alone.
creating more of an issue if you remove it and then there's some
I agree.
authority
Right.
provided elsewhere.
So we're,
We're just gonna change that word from board to commission.
Yes.
Yep.
all right. Page 13. If we go down to, so this is, training.
Can I just, one more thing, guys, I'm driving you crazy, but just this. I don't know if it's necessary to be put in, but, that the commission shall by majority vote elect chair, vice chair, and secretary. We have to put something like that, or is it just accept it?
Every board and commission in the city has its own
We don't need that. in there.
structure, what they like,
Okay, so,
But, I am, man, when we were doing this, creating this structure, which I really like, the only thing I'm cognizant of is who are we kicking off the current commission by accident by creating this new structure?
Why,
don't know,
how
but can
many
we go to-
members are there?
There's 7 now.
And are we asking for 5? What's it?
mm-hmm.
Why less? Why reduce the number?
Made it more manageable, I believe that was the case.
Easier to get a quorum, because when we have quorum issues
Yeah.
constantly
that
with
was it.
ethics. Although I don't know how many we have now. I just feel bad because by all accounts, I don't think, the people on the ethics commission now are good people. It's become ineffective for reasons.
Well,
There's someone
then
beyond
we
there.
shouldn't feel we shouldn't feel bad about it then.
And also the
What do you
question,
mean?
Like,
well, they're good people that have been appointed to the commission and potentially by us doing this restructuring.
We're
We
kicking
will,
them off.
we will once this gets adopted, we may be accidentally making it so that we can't renominate those people. I just wanna be cognizant of that, just making sure that what we're doing makes sense.
Andy can work that stuff out, but I would think that the commissioners that exist now, because we're creating a new commission, quote unquote, would have to.
well,
take
what
a
about,
little
I
bit of
thought
time.
they were serving out their term and no, because this.
Well, that was gonna be my next question, which is, I don't know, we're gonna have to look at this and see, if it gets adopted, at what point does the old commission become defunct and the new one become, or is there a period of time in which there is no commission?
Can we just just
We,
leave
we,
it at
we had
seven?
we had originally said that the new commission would take effect on February 15th of 2026 at no.
This
Well,
says March.
Why do we need a new commission if we just have new rules? Is the issue the people or the rules? I mean, I think we need to impose the new rules, but why do we have to change the people?
What, if it's a quorum question, we're only asking one more person to be present at meetings, we're requiring one more person with the 5 versus the 7. And I don't know the reason why we dropped it.
I don't know either.
Other than that, so why don't we stick with, instead of creating another problem about who's gonna continue and who's not gonna,
Yeah.
who's gonna be discontinued, why don't we keep it 7? And go with whatever other,
Changes.
changes would flow from that. Because I think that if this was a cause célèbre for many people serving here on this commission, who, whether they're present or not present, then having this continue in good form. And we're serving the folks who've served on a group without power or enforcement. That's, I think, how people have felt in the past. And we're providing that recognition that this is an important part of the structure of the city, of the governance of the city. Why don't we keep it at 7? Why don't we keep the opportunities to serve on a board or commission alive and present? If we don't
Why don't we do this? First of all, the one thing I'm noticing is it says 2025, March 2025 is passed. So,
Amen.
so that's one.
That was.
Oh.
Two.
I was looking at it.
Can we grandfather for now the people that are there until their term is done and then stick with this after that group of people goes?
No. I
Have
think
you
it's
met,
clunky.
have you, has the ethics commission been consulted at all, or
Well,
has this been
Steve.
discussed
Steve.
with them?
No, I've alerted Sandra Carmichael
Okay,
that we're discussing all of this.
But also we were in consultation with Steve, who's on.
Understood, but
Is he
I'm
still?
talking about currently.
He's no longer.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about it. I think John's proposal probably is the thing that makes the most sense. We're gonna have to change a bunch of numbers here, but
Yeah.
otherwise the structure
Yeah.
stays the same.
Yeah, stay with 7.
Okay,
If we're gonna stay with 7, that gets rid of the entire issue of
Of
C,
members,
term of members.
yeah, yeah.
Does that. We have to make sure that every member that's on the commission as it stands now
Mhm.
is in compliance with what we've put out for
well, isn't that what you were
membership
saying
requirements.
is an issue?
What?
What's the issue?
He's saying they should meet the requirements here, but is that an issue? What requirements do they?
No, I'm
Meeting
saying that
political
this-
party,
all of
right?
this,
Well, we'd have to up that number,
Yeah.
so in other words, it'd have to be, you know, so, okay, so let's see. I make a motion, see if I can attempt to do this.
Okay, go
To
ahead.
change, starting with subsection D, 5 members to 7.
Hold on, subsection B,
That's D, right? Back to 7.
move
It's not
from
bad.
5 members to 7,
And then maybe, you know,
7.
I know we debated this for a while, but like on this commission, for instance, with the charter commission, the statute says no more than a bare majority can be of one political party, which makes sure that there's not like,
All Democrats, all.
you know, so can we just say that here, no more than a bare majority shall be of the same political party?
That makes sense.
what is bare majority? 4?
Half plus 1,
4.
so here 4, yeah. And then, all nominees shall be registered in respective political party for at least 1 year prior to their appointment.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, I know we
Yes.
debated this.
Yes.
I guess that's fine for the city to do.
Now, if we go back to the 7, we go back to the issue of not having enough people to refill the positions and the extensions of their terms and not being on top of things and everything that we've always talked about, the issues with boards and commissions in the city. So I thought that going to 5, we were trying to get away from that, so in that we would have.
Well, now we
the
have
ability
the,
to-
annually, every September, we know who's gonna be expired.
Yeah.
We
So
have
that
that
makes the
coming into it
difference.
now.
Well,
So that might
and,
help, I don't know.
and you've got a provision now that allows the city council to fill,
The space.
which never
yeah.
existed before, in the
Yeah,
event
it
that the
always was
mayor,
the mayor, right.
that the mayor, if the mayor fails to do so, then the council
The
can
council
step in.
steps in.
Okay.
So you've got some safeguards, and recently they've been better. There was a period of time when they just could not get a quorum.
Well, then also in this, which just to move forward on this, which the council took out on vacancy on F.
Okay.
All right, if the city council also fails to act, I believe wholeheartedly that that needs to be put back in, because there could be a holdup by the mayor and or the council. The council doesn't act in 3 months, and the position, one of the positions
So I had a,
allows it to, the quorum not to exist. So it's absolutely necessary that the ethics commission can stand on its own and appoint if the mayor and.
wait, I had a
legislative
question though
body
about that.
Hasn't been named.
Well, and now
Is it supposed to be that the mayor nominates?
Mhm.
Because it says appoints here.
You know, it's,
So it says nominates and then,
but that also ensures that there's changes on the ethics commission and it means it maintains a quorum. That's the only, other than the library board, which is a whole different purpose. What? In order to keep the politics out of this commission, I believe that the ethics commission should have that authority to appoint if both the mayor and the legislative body have failed to do so.
well, you know, this raises a whole interesting thing about, first of all, if the language stays as is, we might as well just delete it, because it's covered already in chapter 3. So all boards and commissions now have the same structure. The mayor appoints, subject to
Right.
council ratification. If he fails to act within a certain amount of time, then the council takes over, and we debated that at the last meeting. So we wouldn't need this anymore.
But what if the council failed to act?
But the mayor fails to act and the council fails to act, you want the commission to
To
do
be able to do that?
Yep.
That's just,
A life of its own,
and can
continuing.
they make a nomination to the appointing authority to make an appointment?
They can always recommend.
They could always do
I
So can they
mean,
do that?
well, typically, as happens.
I just feel that that's extremely important. That politics gets involved in this. The ethics commission in and of itself can
that. You
appoint.
think it's gonna go defunct?
That's the possibility.
That's what you're thinking, right?
I think that's tough because we haven't seen that in action yet. The council's never been provided an opportunity
never
to
had that.
appoint.
They are given the opportunity.
Not
They
before
don't
they were.
act.
No, I'm
No,
saying like previously
before
though, so we don't
this.
have any history of the council not
That was
putting
their
people on.
big point.
But
It's a
that's
safety net.
now.
No, they're the safety net, the council, because they wanted this so bad.
Yeah, I don't
They
know
I
that.
really
don't know if
wanted
the council
this.
wanted this so bad, but that's another issue.
They did.
No, they actually
did.
did
They
want.
did.
They did want this.
Yeah, so I can't imagine that they wouldn't fulfill the obligation that they asked for.
They asked for that.
I don't know, but it's your call.
Sue, Joe, with any?
I mean, my thought is that, I agree, I think the council really wanted that stipulation
did.
in there.
They did.
And I would find it hard to believe that they would let that obligation go.
I don't believe they would.
John?
Well, I'm a doubter, because I've watched the several obligations in the current charter being ignored. And humorously, these days, and the city moved on in contravention of the language that's pretty clear, that it wouldn't end up in court. And so I bring you the Fair Housing and Fair Rental Commissions, where the city council did step in 3 years ago and took care of fair rental. To the extent they could, they got budget passed, they got people appointed, and there is a fair rent commission. At the same time, there was an ordinance, my understanding, I haven't read it, that there was a fair housing commission ordinance adopted by the council, which has not been fleshed out with people. So I'm arguing for that line to be left in the document as a safety
That's
net.
exactly the terminology I was gonna use. It's
Well,
a safety net.
I don't agree with that term. My reasoning for not agreeing with that term is that if they're allowed to recommend people, what if they start recommending people that's of the same mindset that they are and not free thinkers?
But you've already given the opportunity to the council and to the mayor, and they don't
Yeah, but
have-
you can't,
This
you,
is merely a safety net to
no,
make
they're gonna bring
sure.
their friends. No, I don't think that's good.
Well, I'll say, look, we're talking about a wild hypothetical where neither the mayor nor the council has chosen an act, and they basically made the commission defunct. At that point, what power does the commission really have anyway at that point, if they've lost all of city government? And it's more likely, by the way, if sinister actors are really plotting to hinder the commission, they're more likely to appoint their people.
Right.
In
That's
coordination with each other such
That's
that they'd be more likely to stack the commission than to deprive it of people.
Then the default-
So I just don't, you know, not only is the hypothetical quite remote, but I think, again, that wouldn't be the strategy
Well,
if you wanted to really,
Yeah.
you know, gunk up the works. You'd appoint a commission that, you know, is
Of like mine.
less, yeah, right, is of like mind, whatever that means.
Whoa, I can see G. Nah, whatever. Jeez.
That's
Wow.
been in there.
Yeah, I know, but this is the first time I'm seeing it, I don't like it, but.
Well, we've talked about it a
What is
couple of
that?
times.
Yeah.
And I don't like how it says as may necessary. Can it just say as necessary?
No, that's a typo. Yeah, but you know,
All right, I think we need to, I'm sorry.
Okay,
but
we
need
are
to go-
all, first of
we're
all, we
over
are
the
all
place.
over the place.
So we need to go
And the
back
last
to
thing was,
the issue of the 7 members versus
Yes.
5 members.
I thought that was solved.
No, it wasn't. I jumped only
I
because,
thought it was finished with seven.
well, I think I made I started making a motion, we got distracted.
nothing was voted on.
It's probably as much my fault
All right,
as anybody's,
so-
but,
So
my
we are
motion was
looking-
to change 5 to 7, to change 2.
Well, first, can we pause and can we really be specific about sections and titles and all of that? So in section 4, B, membership, thank you.
Yes, in section 4B, membership, I make a motion to change 5 members to 7. In the next paragraph, to change no more than 2 members of the commission to no more than a bare majority of the commission. To remove the underlines in the next paragraph, I don't know why that's a different thing, probably just was a typo or something.
Wait, oh, to remove the
Remove
underlines.
the underlines. And then consistent with those changes, I'll just keep going, in section C.
Wait, first we also have 2, in A, the commission is gonna be board, right? Or did we fix that already? I mean, the board's gonna
You
be
fixed that
commission.
already.
Okay, alright, sorry. Go ahead.
And then in subsection 4C, terms of members, it should state 1 member who shall serve a 1-year term, 2 members, this will be an amendment, 2 members shall serve a 2-year term, 2 members shall serve a 3-year term, and then 2 will serve a 4-year term, which if my math is correct, 2, 4,
Wait.
7.
1, so 1 for 1, 2 for 2.
2 for 3, and 2 for 4.
And 2 for 4.
I follow you up till that point.
Yeah,
But I'm going back to your comment on 4, and I understand, why did we have 2 before, 2 of 5? No more than 2 of 5 shall be members of the same political party. Were we saying that a majority party in the city would have less than a majority on the commission? Was that what we were saying?
I suppose that's what that means.
Yeah, we didn't want anybody to have a majority on the board.
Okay, well
On the
then
commission.
why are we moving to no more than 4 members? It should be no more than 3 members. And because the problem.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm doing the numbers.
Yeah.
No, that's right, your math is.
So then it should say, so then we don't need a bare majority, we're just saying no more than 3 members then.
Right.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm always cognizant of the numbers as you've educated us on how many are of each party and, you know. And by the way, the Democrats, to my knowledge, that have been appointed, since that's the major party in our city, have been appointed as commission are pretty apolitical people, so. Politics is usually not something that governs this board, but that's fine, I'm okay with John Lee's change, so I incorporate what John just said into my amendment. And then I think the only other change we'll need here is in subsection 4D under quorum. Instead of saying not less than 3 members, it should say not less than 4 members. And in the last
Wait,
line.
hold on.
Okay.
Where are you again?
Under 4D quorum, it says the quorum of the Ethics Commission shall be not less than 4 members in attendance. And then finally, in that same paragraph, last line, where the city council changed it to a concurring vote of 4 of its members, it should now be a concurring vote of 5 of its members. And I think that's the end of that motion,
I second.
with other issues
Wait,
pending.
hold on. Change. 3, change. And then change the other one from 4 to 5. Okay, that was a lot. Oh, and we're changing the date, right?
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
the most important thing.
You can incorporate that as part of my motion, change the date,
What is it changed to?
What do we-
March 1, 2026.
Okay, now I second, now we're good.
Where is the date? Oh, I got it,
It
got it,
just
got it,
says
got it,
the
got it,
term.
got it.
Okay, so, just for my records, so you're basically doing all of the changes after that vote of the red section under one motion,
Yes.
okay.
So
And Aisha seconded it,
Yeah.
and all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, the motion passes. Okay, thank you.
Well, in which case, I mean, if we're gonna keep going, I'd make a motion that we eliminate F.
No,
Well, I wanna go to
absolutely not.
E first,
Okay.
so can we go in order?
Wait a minute.
No, we're focusing on
Oh,
E right now.
E,
Training.
E?
Members are required to engage in a training session. Can we say annual,
yeah, now that I support.
annual training sessions?
How about regular?
Regular,
Regular.
yeah, like that, because then the commission can establish it.
Okay,
Okay, that works.
so regular,
Training sections.
yes, so rather than saying a training session, which is not, that's, not sufficient,
So we're gonna say regular.
So Susan said
Engaging in regular.
members will engage, wait, what is it? Members are required to engage in regular
Training
training
sessions.
sessions and updates. That's important.
So,
So Susan, can I say that you made the motion?
Sure.
I'll second it.
Susan and Joe. Okay, and that was E, sorry.
So we're gonna get, when we're on F, we're gonna get rid of F because we already established it in the charter in regards to commissions and boards.
So we're getting,
Is that?
That, yeah, I mean, I think we covered it and we debated the exact language that we wanted, how long the mayor has to make an appointment, and then what happens if he doesn't when the council's power is triggered and stuff, so I think it's covered. But I will say, consistent with that thought, and I know ethics is a priority and we want it up front in the charter. My only recommendation on thinking of this is that we swap chapters 2 and 3. Ethics is
What's three?
still very close to the front and is still like the first big thing we talk about, but it would be helpful to have the chapter talking about elections and appointments of boards and commissions. Here are the elected officials we have in the city, here's boards and commissions, these are the general governing principles of them. Now here's the first one we talk about, ethics, because it's relying on
Yeah.
that chapter. It's still super prominent, I'm not trying to hide it anywhere, it's still there, but just logically speaking, it makes more sense to have 3 be 2.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. That's right.
Yep.
okay,
But can I ask about vacancy? I feel as though we should keep this, we should keep something called vacancy and refer it back to how the boards and commissions are handled elsewhere in the charter. So that we are addressing that, you know, okay, if there is a vacancy, this is what happens for this particular commission. Because I would expect that the other,
so vacancies will be
So-
filled pursuant to the provisions in this charter.
exactly. Yes, that'd be.
And that's based on 3 months for the mayor and 3 months for the council.
Well, if I may, then to Sue's point, can we just add that to what is now 4C? All appointments shall thereafter be for a 4-year term, period. And then Sue's sentence, which she said
So
well,
in
and I
C-
forgot.
Vacancies will be filled pursuant,
Pursuant to chapter 2 of this charter, we flop the two chapters.
John, you better,
John's gonna kill me.
yeah, you better be careful, Tom.
wait,
You better get
vacancies will
it.
be,
You don't have to
what is
hold
it,
them back.
what's the,
I would say when a vacancy occurs for any reason, it shall be filled per the,
In accordance with chapter 2 of this charter.
If that's outlines, just to be specific, is 3 months for the mayor, 3 months for the.
And then to Sue's point, you would refer to, okay, well, what does chapter 2 say? You go to
right,
chapter 2 and you look
although
up.
we had talked about not being specific about what chapter or whatever, in case, well, the charter's going to
Pursuant to the
change, so.
provisions in this charter.
Yes,
That's fine too, yeah.
that's it.
So are you putting that also in C?
That would go in C after all appointments shall thereafter be.
and
for
can we
4
state
years.
what the language is again?
Taisha's the one that wrote it down, I think we did that by committee, so.
For,
No, just for
For
our,
vacancy?
no, our reference in this chapter.
so C,
So
Yeah.
C,
all
all-
appointments
yeah.
shall thereafter be for a 4-year term pursuant to chapter 2 of this charter.
No, the vacancy part.
Oh, the vacancy,
What was
Sue-
that?
that was Sue's
Sue,
language,
can
but whenever a vacancy occurs for any reason, it shall be filled in accordance with chapter 2 of this charter, that's what I have.
Yep,
Oh, no, okay, so, I think you're confusing two things. We were gonna move the vacancy language up here as a single
Oh.
line, and that's the pursuant to this charter
Okay.
language.
Okay, so.
So it
F
should
goes
say
away.
something like, right, F goes away, all appointments shall thereafter be for a 4-year term, period. All hereinafter vacancies shall be filled in accordance with the provisions of this charter, period.
okay.
That's what I was
Right?
trying to find, what the
Okay.
provisions of this charter.
I think we confused Taisha by talking about two different sections at once.
I raised a different question. It would not bother me to have that final line that everybody wants to strike or move the chapter in here, because ethics is so important. And ethics, and an ethics commission, a functioning ethics commission, where we've had, in the last 30 years, not only in the mayor's office, but on the city council, which are the two appointing authorities, ethics gross violations, some illegalities, some other things that have gone on. I certainly don't want that to back up on a commission that is functioning well. And so the power to take it upon themselves to appoint someone to where the commission has a vacancy or vacancies that have gotten in the way of doing business, might be valuable to them and notable in its singular appearance as a charter power. I sense that I haven't vote counted here to see who might agree with me, but I'm willing to just raise the issue since it's on tape. And God bless. Thank you.
Okay. Who motioned this?
Motion what?
Motion what?
I motion to,
John motioned it.
I motion to get rid of the vacancy section and add the new
Tom,
language.
okay, and who put you? Oh, no, and Susan, sorry, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
I am opposed.
What did you wanna put in there?
No, I want to leave it exactly as is.
You wanted to leave the whole,
The whole thing, we could change the
but
appointment.
it's somewhere else in this charter.
No, but he's
No,
talking
not the-
about
not
part
the-
about-
not
Nowhere, nowhere else in the charter is the singular notion to give the power to this group.
Oh, yes.
And my response to that is, I don't necessarily disagree with you in whole. For me, it comes down to the function of government and how this is supposed to work. To me, it's odd for anybody to be self-appointing. It just seems like a conflict in and of itself. And I know the concern that you're raising, and I've already said how remote that possibility is, and the greater likelihood that they would rather stack the commission than deprive it of oxygen. But I don't think it's the appropriate role of a body to self-appoint its own members. And
I thought
think
it wasn't about appointment, I thought we were talking about nominations for the commission.
Yes, the word here is appointment, we were changing it to nomination.
posted and nominated to the council, and then they, I
Well,
mean,
they do
still,
that
I mean,
anyway.
that's-
They do that.
But again, but
No, they don't.
your hypothetical is that
They
the
can.
council has
They don't.
decided
But they can.
with
That's
their,
not
But
written.
it's not nominations, you're talking about appointments, so not just a nomination, because the appointment has to happen, this is.
The
if the
appointment would go to
does-
city council though.
But this is if city council doesn't act.
right, so this
On an
is,
appointment, so
this
then
is a
they
great
can
point.
recommend somebody that they can appoint. Maybe they don't have somebody that they can appoint.
I have a great thought here,
Oh, I
now
wasn't
that I
reading
think
it
about
that
this.
way.
So you're saying,
Sometimes
That's
a
how I
great
was looking at
notion.
yeah, right, everyone's right, you may disagree with me, but I'm just thinking about this now. So the logic is, the mayor has declined to act, the city council has declined to act, and they intentionally are declining to act. And then, the commission has the power to simply put up a name, which this city council, which has specifically under your hypothetical declined to act, all of a sudden is going to act on?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense to
Maybe
me.
they don't have
They
somebody.
don't have to.
Well, then, the
You can
commission can always
always- You
recommend.
can always recommend,
They can
yeah.
always
That's
recommend,
what
they can
that's
recommend,
called.
and, I mean, anyone could recommend at
I
any time,
thought
that's
you
not the
all wanted
hypothetical.
to- Yeah, I think you
The
all.
hypothetical is sabotage.
Seeking
I mean,
to-
there was a
Appoint.
notion of nominating. I mean, no, of
Appointing.
appointing.
No,
Yeah,
Yes, there was originally.
Yes?
no, I'm saying you cannot
And
do
I'm
that.
opposed to that for different reasons, but if it's simply, they have the power to nominate, so the mayor fails to nominate,
It
the
makes
city
it a
council fails to
public,
nominate.
it makes the whole show time in public. Meaning that, that's one of the things that I've been arguing about in front of the council on a regular basis. Oversight, who does what when you have oversight, and who calls the things, matters to, and there's no response to the lonely voice pointing out
They're picking it up. Stop.
admissions. Thank you.
You know, my only concern, having served on a board, where there was self-appointment. When there was a vacancy on the Board of Education, the board actually had 30 days to try to fill that position themselves. And I can tell you that many times that board failed to do so, and for a variety of reasons. It just, after 30 days, if the board could not find a member, it went to the mayor, and then the mayor would appoint. I think it just creates unnecessary chaos in the body to try to put forth in such a narrow, window of time, adequate replacements on the board. And I agree, I just don't see, I see this as such a rare scenario that the mayor would fail to act, the council would fail to act, the ethics commission would put forth a name. Unless we're saying the ethics commission would appoint, if they simply nominate, then what is the council gonna do again? They've already failed to act, they're not gonna move forward again. So yes, it will create, I guess, a public spectacle to some
Yeah.
extent, but I think that we have, enough layers in place, at least in the charter. That's just.
And they obviously don't like it because they've redlined this version and sent it back to us. Not that I necessarily care or agree with them on everything, but I mean, they have made a
Well,
big
I think,
issue.
I think ultimately the motion was made and seconded and passed.
It's a very fair debate, I just want to
Right.
say,
No,
for
I
everything
agree
I've
with
said,
premise.
I
I
don't
don't
necessarily
necessarily
agree with
work.
everything John Lee said.
For G, I do wanna stress striking the word may out of there.
So,
So, no, the second may, where
Where
it
else
says,
in the charter is this allowed for
as
anybody?
may, it should be as may.
here last night when we added this?
I
By
know.
the way, this was done over my objection, you'll be proud of me.
Listen,
But,
the city council voted on it, so we're keeping it.
But I don't understand why it's necessary. It presupposes that somehow or another the city attorney would not be following their professional rules of. Wait, let me finish, let me finish,
I'm sorry.
right? Because you don't have any example of a counsel never being provided or independent counsel not being provided when it's necessary. And I guess I take offense to it because the rules for lawyers and professional conduct of lawyers is much greater than this charter, right? And it's not, and so the obligation is beyond the scope of this charter. So the idea that somebody would be violating their professional rules of conduct in this instance is, like, when would that ever happen? And when, do you have any proof that it ever has happened? Like, we have proof that, people haven't been appointed to boards or commissions when they should not have been. But I don't think there's any evidence that the city attorney's office, whoever the city attorney was at the time, did not provide independent legal counsel when it was required. I just don't think that would ever happen. I don't even understand why that's necessary. And I think it's just ripe for fights. Because it may be determined that independent counsel is wanted, but not necessarily necessary. And who makes that determination of what's necessary? I don't know, just problematic to me, but.
Well, I'll renew my
not
objection
a
since the
sword in
city
my
attorney
eye.
is having her hissy fit.
And I don't mind it being called that, because that's exactly what it is. I am having a hissy fit,
Can you
because this is offensive.
Can you clarify for the record that any commission at any time can request outside counsel,
They
right?
always can, anybody
Okay.
can.
So
I
that
mean,
is already
but that's
something
not,
in-
but that's not something that's always granted
Right.
either. There needs to be a determination that it's necessary, and there needs to, a conflict needs to exist for it to happen, right? Often it happens in a context of ethics, because we don't have the professional, we don't have the training for it in our office, right? We don't have a specialist in ethics, so we would go
So
out
you
for
would,
this,
yeah.
because we don't have it. But I don't see why you need to say that, because we know what we are supposed to do. I don't see why. I just foresee this becoming an instance where the commission is determining that they want an outside lawyer because they don't like the opinion that they got from the city attorney's office. Who's paying for this then? So if you're gonna put it there, make sure that the legal counsel is not being paid for by the city attorney's office. If you want your own counsel, make sure you can pay for it. Because I don't understand why the city attorney's office should have to pay for that.
If I may jump on, I think this debate, this same debate has happened in so many contexts, and I've been consistent on this point with the city council, with other boards and commissions, that there is one voice when it comes to interpreting the charter. A voice which sometimes I agree with, we fight every day. But there's one voice that speaks on how to interpret the charter, and it's the city attorney. And she has an obligation to defend any board or commission that gets sued. Like if they impose a fine on somebody and somebody tries to challenge it in court, it's her job to defend this commission. And for us to add language that allows the commission to go in a different direction, to me is wild. It departs from this standard that applies to every single employee, officer, board or commission of this city. I just don't know why it's different here.
And violations of professional rules of conduct jeopardize more than your job as a lawyer, right? This isn't
That's right.
about a lawyer not doing their job for the city, it's about them, it's about their livelihood. And I don't think anybody's compromising their livelihood for this particular job. I just don't see why anybody would do that and why that's necessary, but. And nowhere else does that happen, it's just a fight waiting to happen.
And any board or commission or officer of the city can make the same thing. I don't like what the city attorney, their ruling is on this thing, we're gonna disregard them. That's not how the system works. If we're willing to set up that system, never mind ethics. This fight is gonna become a disaster in other contexts, in my view.
It's already
John.
in here.
Whereas, that's the mildest hissy fit I've ever observed. But she agreed to that term.
It was.
And secondly, for the purpose of consistency, in terms of attempting to end arguments rather than reinforce arguments in the future, where the Office of City Council, or Office of City Attorney, is requested or is discounted as representing a board, a commission, a body that is governed by the charter. And C, so consistency is there, and to eliminate that potential for continuing the discussion, recognizing that the violations of professional conduct are being brought to our attention at the federal level every day. There are too many attorneys who are blowing out their future, I believe. Anyway, I would move that we eliminate FG, whatever line on the sentence about counsel.
You mean just G?
Just G.
G.
Don't say it.
I would second that motion.
Yes.
Any other discussion?
What if the mayor's brought up on charges, or anybody from the administration, anybody from the council's brought up on charges? Per se, that, I understand where you're coming from, but the city attorney works for the mayor. Works for the city of Bridgeport, is appointed by the mayor. That in and of itself does not disrespect the office of the city attorney. It just ensures that if there becomes a time where the ethics commission may ask for
But
outside
anybody can
advice.
ask for that.
Anybody can do that.
Any commission can ask for outside legal counsel,
Also, I
correct?
can give you 1,000
But no, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's already there.
But it's not necessarily something that, I don't wanna mislead anybody to believe that that's something that's automatically granted, right? It needs to be, there has to be a reason for it, right? It has to be something that we can't handle within the city attorney's office and we have to go out for it. Or there's a dispute between two agencies, boards or commissions, bodies, where we can't have both of them within the office. For instance, when the city is sued and the Board of Ed is sued in the same matter, one goes out, right? We don't keep them both in the office because we can't represent both sides. So we know when we're supposed to refer things out. And I can't imagine that it would ever come up that we wouldn't. And I'm not necessarily sure what the conflict would be the city attorney cannot be removed by the mayor, so technically can't get fired. I don't see how your independence would ever be compromised as a city attorney. Basically, do whatever you want, keep your job, as long as it's legal. Don't tell anybody I said that, but, everyone's watching. But yeah, I just don't see how this would ever come up. I think the system is designed for independence relative to the city attorney.
And the system that has conflicts between multiple agencies or officers, which the city attorney represents, happens all the time. The mayor and the city council, she represents them both, they fight daily. The mayor appoints members to the Civil Service Commission that are then ratified by the city council, that then decide to potentially re-employ people that the mayor has fired. You know, and I can go down the boards and commissions that render decisions that maybe the mayor opposes a planning and zoning development that the Planning and Zoning Commission approves. Again, I don't think any of those conflicts, political conflicts, have ever jeopardized the independence of the city attorney's office in terms of being able to tell that board or commission or the officer what their legal duties are. And if they ever got into a true legal fight, to Taisha's point, they'd have to assign independent legal counsel to one of the two.
Or sometimes multiple. Like if we have multiple members on a council involved in something, we've had to assign multiple people different council.
So is there a motion on the floor as we
Yep.
voted on?
All those in favor to strike G, council?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
Motion passes. Okay, section 5, or the new section 5, the revised section 5. If you go to the bottom of page 13, where it says the Office of Municipal Ethics shall have its own budget, can we just say a budget for resources? And then the other one is which may be deemed necessary to proper, should it be for the proper?
I don't see the second one.
Yeah, first, I'm sorry.
The last line.
So it's the last line, I don't know, to have its own budget, can we just say to, shall have a budget?
Mhm.
Or, I mean, is it important to put its own?
No, I think I'll budget.
Okay. Oh, no. And then, which may be deemed necessary
No,
for
yeah.
the proper,
Yeah.
not
For-
to the proper.
Yeah, for
Right, yeah, we don't, why, which may be deemed necessary. Any budget, if it's got to get approval from the council and whatever,
So maybe just take out,
which may be deemed necessary, for resources for the proper and effective functioning.
or you wanna keep necessary.
No,
Shall
for the
have a
prop,
budget necessary for the
Yeah.
proper.
I was just gonna have budget for resources, deemed, yeah, okay, necessary.
No, so, yeah, shall have a budget for resources necessary, no. Shall have budget for resources to properly and
Necessary
effectively.
for the proper and effective.
Alright, somebody read it to me.
So
The
the
Office
office,
of Municipal Ethics shall have a budget for resources, or shall have a budget, period. That's, yeah, it's, okay, necessary to the proper and effective functioning of the Ethics Commission and Municipal Office of Ethics.
Okay,
Shall
so
have a
you're
budget.
saying, so you wanna say, a budget, wait, so the
Shall
Office
have
of
a
Municipal
budget,
shall have a
comma,
budget, okay,
Necessary, comma, necessary to the proper and effective functioning of the Ethics Commission and the Municipal Office of Ethics.
except you wanna change 2 to 4. I think it's just
Yes, it
necessary
should
be.
for the proper
For the proper.
and effective functioning.
wait, budget necessary.
Was that a motion, John?
I hope so.
Yeah, I'll
Anyone?
second.
Thank you.
Section 5.
Do we wanna number these paragraphs
Yes.
also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was gonna say that.
Are we numbering or A?
A,
Yeah,
B,
letter
C, yeah.
So that's 5D, changes that line.
Is that, is staffing a separate section on the next page, or is it, E? Is it section 6, or is it E?
I think it should, oh,
I think it's E, cause it's.
yeah, let's make it E. Oh, I have something. Wait, no, you voted on, wait. And then you're doing the numbering. Oh, so in E, for staffing, it says the director may, subject to available, can we just say the director may appoint? Because isn't it already assumed that if he's appointing, there may be funding or may not? This is on page 14, so the director may appoint subordinate staff deemed necessary to carry out, rather than just saying the director may, subject to available funding.
Well, I was gonna ask how this conversation went with council. It seems like it went well, because they left all the stuff in there, which is great. But I think that's a necessary qualifier, because,
Unnecessary?
yeah, you need it, because, if, this language is vesting all of the discretion in the director, and the director deems all of the following positions necessary, even though they're not funded. And that's a problem, right? And so this qualifier says, well, if they've been allocated funding, that gives the director now discretion to determine who they're hiring, what positions they need, what those job descriptions are.
And those are not details that we're in a position to make into hard print. Let it happen there.
Right, that's what I would think. And this thing will, like the Office of Legislative Services, it's not gonna be born in a day, it's gonna
Right.
take some time.
Okay.
So, but I would motion to add a comma after, what is it? Oh my God. Director may, comma, subject to available funding, comma, add a comma between
Yeah.
funding and appointing.
Definitely.
And should we leave chapter 17 in there, or is it
It's still 17.
still 17?
Yeah,
that's,
we
civil
left it
service, right?
alone, yeah,
All right.
cause there's so many references to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We don't need to vote on that, do we? The
On
numbering?
the comma?
You
Okay,
got a comment
so
about the comma?
any other comments or suggestions for chapter 2? I mean, now 3. Okay, we also had on our agenda chapter 14, 16, and 18. Are those quick and easy or no?
I was gonna say, maybe we can just briefly talk about 16, 14, and 18. I think we need to save for the other departments. I'm just gonna say on 16, does anyone have any intention on changing anything in the Board of Ed chapter? Because it's like it's
No.
a short chapter, it's like the third rail, and
What page is that?
That's on page 61 of 92.
Oh, yeah, this time.
And it's 10, we're behind, but beyond 2.
We'll do one page.
Yeah.
Wait, what page?
The only changes are the titles that have been added, because I was asked to add titles for the table content.
What page is it? We're looking at.
61.
61.
58 for us.
Oh, thank you.
You saw. Yeah, I'm on
I
61.
did.
I don't see it.
I wonder if it's the matches somehow.
Oh, yeah.
Pagination is off, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
because I opened it on my computer, it still says it.
yeah, so nothing changed here.
No, I think
Nothing, we didn't.
Just titles.
And how about, so this is, I'm so sorry. I messed up on my pages, but, I'm on chapter 17, civil service. For A, it says membership.
Oh, yeah.
The membership.
Membership. That's hysterical. So only because I was on the wrong page that I saw that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're on that and we didn't even notice it before.
Right?
If Eric's gonna change it.
I'd say keep it, the membership.
So, do we are we looking at education and then deciding to?
Do we just wanna vote on it and agree that we're not gonna touch it anymore? That'd be nice.
Okay, the only thing I wanna talk about is
That's
C.
61.
So at the election held on the first Tuesday after the first Monday of November 1995. Do we need to keep 1995 in there?
Well, and it's and quadrilateral thereafter, so you'd have to keep counting from there to.
Mhm.
I thought about the same thing.
I don't see how you
It
get rid
starts
of
your
it.
counting
It
for
start-
4
yes.
years.
Okay, so never mind.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I know it seems stupid, but it's also
Well,
in the
in
other
B,
sections
yeah.
on,
I'll make a motion to accept the section
I
title
second
change.
it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion, all those opposed? Motion is passed. It is now 12:36. Do,
I could bring up another issue in another chapter that's quick.
I mean,
Do you
I
wanna
would-
keep working or
I
do you
feel
wanna be
like
done?
chapter 16, we're done with that.
Yep.
What about police? Is that in quick and, or you wanna hold off on
I'm
that?
just-
We had no changes.
Well, the thing was, yeah, we're still tinkering around with this whole sunsetting thing that the council charged us with, and it kind of applies to all the department chapters. So that's why I thought police and libraries kind of falls into that bucket. Something that doesn't fall into that bucket is the budget and fiscal controls, which is chapter 10.
And what about chapter 20 going away? Because we no longer have a Department of Land Use Construction and Review, but there are provisions in it that belong in OPED, in Planning and Economic Development, that I moved. So I don't know if we want to talk about that, or maybe not today, but kind of put on your radar.
Well, in our next meeting, which I left it all over there,
Tuesday,
I need an agenda.
I'm actually, yeah, I mean, like, I can just knock out my one argument on 9, I mean, on 10, and otherwise, I'm good with the city council's changes to that and ours.
What's in 10?
Oh, dear God.
Chapter 10,
Yeah, what's your change?
just the dates, the dates of
What
when the
page is
budget.
that?
What page?
Oh, I'm sorry, page 37.
36. Oh, 37.
I don't know if there was anything in the next chapter, 11, let me look at that one too, 1, 2, 3.
There's nothing but capitalization changes in chapter 11, in title, the title is added.
Yeah, you know what, you might wanna capitalize on chapter 11, section 1D, Director of Finance / Comptroller, you might wanna capitalize that.
Who, Joe, and who was the other one who,
I seconded it.
okay, thank you. What chapter were you talking about?
Oh, so now I'm on chapter 10, page 37, my only thing, so we adopted a bunch of changes that were recommended by the council, that specifically Scott Burns had submitted a bunch of stuff to us, and we adopted them almost to the T with some minor tinkering. The council then substantively changed again the dates of when the budget is due to the council, when they can vote on it. So what we did in our changes is we actually extended the budget season, and by budget season, we basically mean like when the mayor sends the budget to the council by 2 weeks. One direction, 1 week at the end of the process to give them more time, and 1 week at the beginning of the process. The council then, after we voted, changed it to add made it even earlier. They adopted, and so now I'm on section 5, subsection C,
Right.
not later than the 3rd Monday of March. But what that does, we had, I think, the first Tuesday in April. they've now moved this budget process up 2 to 3 weeks. And so for the next 2 years, so I looked this up, there's actually 5 weeks, 5 Mondays in that month. They've moved the budget process up 3 weeks more, in addition to the 2 we already added. They're out of their minds. Because most of the budget process is not actually what they do, it's what the departments do to prepare it.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be asking departments to be preparing budgets at Christmas at
That's
this
what I
point.
said.
And the more remote you get, by the way, from
We're all
when the
like-
budget's actually effective, the less
Mm.
accurate it's going to be, and that's not good for the process.
Yeah, the first deadline currently.
The
is
city
January.
council getting 2 weeks for a process that they already don't do particularly efficiently is giving them a lot. I would recommend that we go back to what we had and reject their changes.
On C
Which
only,
is-
on C only?
Just on, yeah, I think.
So
that's
you're
the-
changing it back to the fourth Monday.
So it would be, we had in ours the
First Tuesday.
first.
No, the first Tuesday in
That's the
April was what
original.
was there.
Oh, you
You
know what,
changed
let
it to the fourth Monday in March, and they changed it further to the third. So we're changing it back to the fourth, because that was your initial change. First Tuesday in April is the original.
And I remember even making that one change, we were just a little concerned about the time it would give departments.
Yeah.
So to add even more to that,
But they really wanted it, and I get it, they want more time, because there are a lot of meetings in the month and a half that they go, and we feel bad.
So we're gonna
Yada,
go
yada,
to
but-
the fourth Monday instead of the third?
Is that, okay, what's it, section 5? Oh, not later than the 4th Monday of March of each year, the mayor shall submit. Oh, yeah, that is what we did, okay.
So where are you talking about making the change?
So then, yeah, I guess that's it then.
Going back to the fourth Monday as opposed to the third.
Yeah. Oh, and then, yeah, okay, right, this is a funny one. Okay, yeah, let's start with that one.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
So then, on subsection,
Hold
now
on,
I'm-
we're moving third, wait.
Are you looking for the other end of that, that's
What
F,
page?
Yeah.
page 38?
they then took a week away from themselves at the back end, and I want to explain that, because that's the funny one.
Okay, so then what's the next section?
So then the next
F.
section is you turn to page 38, and you
Wait.
go to
So
F.
we did vote on
The budget adopted by the city council as provided in subsection B shall be submitted to the mayor not later than the 3rd Tuesday in May. They changed it to the 2nd, so they took a week away from themselves. So, this was the big fight years ago between the mayor and the city council over when the budget was due. And there's a statute, a very rare statute, that allows the city council to go around the charter revision process and change when the budget is due. In part because the legislature wanted to give municipalities flexibility given when the state budget comes out and stuff. So the city council by ordinance changed it to the 3rd. And so we were just making the charter consistent with their ordinance, and then they just took it away from themselves. And they forgot the logic of this. So anyway, I also reject that change. It gives them back a week. So we took a week away, we just gave a week back. If we.
Change it back to the third.
Right, so give them till the 3rd Tuesday in May.
So the next section, do we vote on the other section?
Yes.
Yes.
And so now we're voting on section F, subsection F. And we're changing it from 2nd to 3rd. Tom's making the motion,
Second,
John's seconding it, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, any other things in that chapter?
I think 10 and 11 are good to go.
So wait, what was 11?
Bonding, there's just one thing that I need to change, was just a capitalization of director of finance and comptroller, but otherwise everything's there.
Okay, so does everybody wanna look at chapter 11, and then I'll accept a motion to approve that one too?
So moved.
And a seconder?
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor? We're talking about chapter 11, bonding and long-term debt. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes, chapter 11. And
It
that's,
made it a little easier on us.
and we're
later down
leaving
the
the,
road.
we're gonna leave the finance department, right?
Yeah, that's a substantive department chapter. Yeah.
Okay, so, alright, well, I'll figure out where the rest are gonna go at some point. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I would be happy to make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Okay, so Susan
you.
and I,
You guys came down on me
Saying
with a
anything.
question of the council's wisdom, they called them out of their mind.